How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we did see a little bit of a drop. We do have a gap above us, so I would watch for that to fill. That could mean crypto could sell off. We did see crypto run up very quickly. We will get into that later. Usually when you go up one way or the other, you do tend to retrace. So if you sell off very quickly like we did back here, usually there would be a counter move forward. Usually when you move up very quickly, there's usually a counter move downward, like here. We moved up very quick here. We moved down right after. So you do want to watch for those opposites. Our VWAP is favoring bearish. Momentum is dropping. We do have a red dot. If that VWAP, that yellow wave, continues to drop momentum, our blue wave will continue lower and money flow will deepen in the red, and we will continue to sell off. That could lead the gap to fill later if lower time frames become bullish or continue to drop. If we continue to drop, we would fill our gap later. Ideally, we would fill the gap sooner, but our crypto does look like it does want to continue. We will get into that now. So if crypto does continue, we would typically see Dixie sell off. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, stochastic is pushing up, RSI is gaining strength, VWAP is pushing up, money flows bullish, momentum is pushing up, so we do look decent. This does mean Bitcoin could outperform our altcoins. That's all really dominance is a measure of, or altcoins and stablecoins really. So over on total for the daily, we are continuing forward. We do have this potential to break right around that 22, a little over 722. So we could see altcoins return to relatively close to previous all-time highs of this current market cycle, not the last cycle. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pushing up, VWAP is gaining strength, momentum is pushing forward, and that money flow is bearish, but if that VWAP stays bullish, that money flow could reverse, and we could see altcoins run up. Over on the 4 hour, we are above that 300 EMA. That is positive. Remember, if we stay above that EMA, we are likely going to continue forward. Ideally, we would sell off, retest the EMA, and then continue forward to our 602. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is gaining strength, that VWAP is bullish, momentum is heading up, and money flow is bullish, so we do look positive. Again, we are above that critical support area. We did kind of retest it with that indecision candle, but I would like to see a more full candle body touch on it, almost like we got on the 2 hour. Our momentum is starting to round away. VWAP is pulling back here on the 2 hour. Stochastic is rounding, RSI is pulling back, and money flow does want to sell off. Watch that VWAP close. If that VWAP continues to push down, momentum would break and money flow would sell off. That could end up giving us a retracement. We do look positive though. This 2 hour is more of a bullish continuation as the highs and lows don't connect. Remember, when highs and lows don't connect, you have bullish continuation. When they do connect, you have a rising channel. Rising channels bring you down. We mentioned that in the Mastering the Trade series, so click that link in that comment. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic does want to round away. I would watch. This is positive though. We are continuing with our double bottom. Momentum does want to round. RSI is pulling back. VWAP does want to break down. Watch that VWAP close. Money flows bullish. But if that VWAP starts to favor bearish, we could see that momentum sell off and money flow could reverse. You want to see higher waves, stronger waves than this. You don't want to see big bearish waves. If we start getting big bearish waves, then price action will start to correct. However, if we continue to see these more stronger bullish waves and these weaker bearish waves, we can continue seeing this rise drop. That rise drop does give you more of that push forward. Remember, you want that healthy move up. You don't want to just straight shoot up and shoot for the moon. If you shoot for the moon, you're going to come crashing down. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we are pushing forward. We are above that value area low. This is positive. Stochastic is pushing up. RSI is pushing up. VWAP is gaining strength. Momentum is pushing up. And money flow does want to gain strength. So if VWAP stays bullish, we could see futures gain further strength and fill that higher gap. I would warn against that gap though. Remember, if we do not continue after filling that gap, we could end up breaking down. We do have our lower gap. We have a gap around the 65.5 as well. So we do really want to watch that gapped area. We want to watch if we hold above or if we reject it. If we reject, we're going to continue to our lower gap, retest that lower 50K area. However, if we do hold above that 61 as we approach it, then we can push to that 65K gap. You still want to watch for lower highs though, because if we could see a round away there and we see a lower low from there, we could still end up breaking down into a bearish trend. Our stochastic does want to push up. VWAP is pushing up, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is pushing forward. We do still have the double bottom possibility as well, so that is positive. That can take us to about 82K. We'll get on that on Bitcoin, but I would just exercise caution and keep things in perspective. Don't just hope for a straight moonshot here. Over on the 4-hour, we are coming up close to that 300 EMA. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP is bullish, momentum is heading up, and money flow does want to gain strength. So the 4-hour does look decent for a continuation. Again, just watch out because of that gap below us. Gaps have an 80% likelihood to fill, so we could end up breaking down, or it could end up like that bear gap from the previous bear market. We never filled that gap. We never dropped down to around that 15K level. So we do still have that gap here on futures. That does mean we could end up filling it at some point, but it could take a very long time. That could be like next bear market. So over on the 2-hour, stochastic does want to round, RSI is flat, VWAP is pulling back, momentum does want to round. Watch that VWAP. If that VWAP breaks down, momentum will lead money flow lower. However, if that VWAP can stay bullish, money flow will remain green, and higher time frames will continue to run forward, giving us that bullish breakup to around that 61K. So over on the 1-hour, we do have a little bit of a rising channel going on here. I would warn against that because a rising channel does end up breaking you down. RSI does want to go flat. Stochastic is turned around. Watch that stochastic. If that orange gets above blue and it holds, we could end up breaking down. VWAP does want to pull back. Money flow is bullish, but if that VWAP breaks our bearish trend and then we start to push lower with our momentum, money flow could reverse. So watch that VWAP. We do want to see a higher low. If we break and get lower lows and lower highs, we could end up rejecting this area. That's kind of what you want to watch as we approach that gapped area. So over on Bitcoin, this is where we have that double bottom mapped out. That can take us to around, let's see, right about 81.6, so less than 82K, not much less so. So we did call this bull flag here on the 1-hour. That did break up. That is good. We did see a strong run up. So hopefully you're in that Discord. That's where we called that. Or you're on our TikTok or any of our other platforms. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pushing up, VWAP is pushing forward, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is bearish, but we are seeing a slightly higher wave. So if VWAP does stay bullish, momentum could lead money flow bullish as well. Over on our 4-hour, we are above that 300 EMA. We did get indecision candle. This is a little bit better of a touch and a retest than we did see on futures. So this could help push us forward. Again, we did break from our flag we called in Discord, so we will delete this. We did say to watch for that flag as we did see some things going on where VWAP wasn't too favorable, but we did ultimately see VWAP flip bullish, momentum pushed up, stochastic pushed up, RSI gained strength, and money flow is flipping from red to green. So that VWAP and money flow flipping together is what helped push us up. You can see when they flip together, we got a very strong green candle. So we want to kind of look at that on lower time frames. Hopefully you could have seen that on the 1-hour, but again, if you're on the Discord, you would have been prepared for that. Stochastic does want to push up, RSI is pushing forward, momentum is rounding, VWAP is pulling back, money flow is bullish, so watch that VWAP. If that VWAP stays bullish, money flow could continue to push higher time frames up, and that would be positive because that could push us to that gapped area. Over on the 1-hour here, we are starting to round away, so exercise caution. We did see a little bit of a rising channel here, but we did not continue the channel. We did kind of jump up away from it, so this could be positive. This could be more of that bullish continuation where you get those highs and lows that do not connect. Momentum is rounding though. VWAP is very weak. Watch that VWAP close. That's kind of what we warned against when we had this flag. VWAP was coming down. It did look a little weak. So when that VWAP does get weak, that's when you want to be cautious. VWAP is starting to round away, so watch if it breaks bearish. If it breaks bearish and it fails to get back into bullish territory, we likely would drop away. But if it breaks bearish and does reclaim bullish territory like it did on the 1-hour, that could lead to a run-up like we saw here. So here you would have seen 2 green candles. That would have been your confirmation. VWAP would have went bullish, and that would have told you we could have been on for a run-up. So over on graph for the daily, we are seeing a pretty decent run up. We do have our green above blue EMA, so that is positive. It is a bullish cross. That bullish cross does want to run you forward. Stochastic is pushing up. RSI is pushing up. VWAP is pushing forward. Money flow does want to gain strength as that VWAP is pushing up. So watch that VWAP and our momentum. As they continue up, that money flow could start to reverse, and we could see the daily flip. But again, I would watch the rest of the market as it does seem like it wants to reverse on us. Over on the 4-hour, stochastic is rounding, momentum is starting to round off, VWAP is pulling back, money flow is bullish, so I would watch. That VWAP is starting to kind of taper away. Watch lower time frames. If it favors bearish, we could end up breaking away. Over on the 2-hour, we did hold above the 300 EMA and we continued forward, so that was positive. We are kind of zigzagging around, so again, we aren't just straight shooting up or down. It was more of that healthy move forward. We do still have a gap below us though, so keep an eye on that. Momentum is pushing up. That VWAP is getting lower highs overall, so watch for lower lows. If we get lower lows and we fail to get back above that neutral, that's where we could see that gap fill. So over on the 1-hour, we are running up. The highs and lows, again, don't connect too well, so that could be more bullish continuation. But again, watch out for the bullish continuation as we have gaps below us. Running up does set us up for a drop down. Momentum does want to round, money flow is pushing up. VWAP is bullish, but it's struggling, so watch that VWAP close. It could end up breaking away here if we're not careful, and that could lead to a push down to that 14,316. And if we do not see VWAP hold bullish there, we could end up seeing further losses, filling that gap right around that 13,587. So over on Ankr for the daily, we are continuing to tear up above that value area low, so this is positive. We are continuing toward that point of control, toward that 2673. Stochastic is starting to round though, RSI is pushing up, VWAP is bullish, momentum is heading up, and money flow is bearish, but VWAP can maintain bullish momentum. Money flow could start to reverse, so watch the lower time frames. Over on the 4-hour, we are struggling with that 300 EMA, and we do want to kind of round away. We have a long upper shadow candle, which shows bulls tried to push us up, and bears are gaining control, so watch as that could end up leading us lower. Momentum does want to round, VWAP is starting to struggle, watch that VWAP close. If it breaks bearish and holds, momentum will lead money flow lower, and we will see the 4-hour and the daily weaken. Over on the 2-hour, we are running up, but again, we do have several gaps as Ankr does love its gaps. Again, if you like to trade gaps, this is your coin to see. RSI does want to kind of round away, stochastic is pulling back, momentum is rounding, VWAP is pulling back, and money flow is bullish, but starting to lose steam. So watch that VWAP close, it could end up breaking down, and if it holds bearish, that could end up leading us lower. Over on the 1-hour, we are continuing to run up, so again, we do look positive, but we have several gaps below. Momentum does want to round, stochastic and RSI are pulling back. VWAP does have lower highs, so watch if we break bearish and hold. If we do, momentum could break down and money flow could start to reverse, and we could start to see price action follow. So over on XRP for the daily, we are pushing forward. We do want to break that 57,394 as positive. We did bounce and confirm above that 300 EMA. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is pushing forward, VWAP is continuing up, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow is bullish. So we do look positive. Watch if that VWAP can stay bullish. If it can, momentum will continue higher, money flow will continue up, and we will continue to push forward. So over on the 4-hour, we did retest that 300 EMA. We didn't get quite a full candle body to it, but that does look decent. Stochastic does want to pull back, RSI is starting to push down, momentum wants to round, VWAP is nowhere to be found, and money flow is bullish. Watch that VWAP close. If it can stay bullish here, momentum will push up, money flow could stay bullish, and we could run forward. However, if that VWAP breaks down here, we're likely going to see momentum round, and money flow could flip from green to red, signaling further selling action. Over on the 2-hour, we could have a bit of a rising channel, maybe a rising triangle, kind of hard to draw either. We do have a confirmation of a bounce off that 300 EMA though, that did push us to that 57. That's where you would have wanted to head to watch. So that would have been your support, your resistance, that would have been your trading levels. Stochastic is pushing forward. We do want to see that continue. RSI is pushing up, momentum is rounding, VWAP is maintaining bullish momentum, but it's very weak. Watch that VWAP close, because if it breaks bearish and holds, momentum will continue to weaken, money flow will flip, and higher time frames will weaken. That will push us back down to that 54. Over on the 1-hour, we are starting to round away. Again, watch that close. We could retest that 300 EMA. If we do not hold that EMA, that's where we could see that 54 and possibly lower. Stochastic does want to round up. VWAP is pulling back. Momentum is rounding, and money flow is starting to break red. So watch that VWAP close. If that VWAP breaks bearish, money flow could follow it, and we could see price action break down from here. Finally, if there are no other requests, we have ALGO for the daily. We are pushing up toward that 1350 like we said we could see. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pushing up, VWAP is bullish, momentum is heading up, but that money flow is overall bearish, so watch that VWAP close as we aren't quite in the clear. Over on the 4-hour here, Oh, did not flip, so sorry about that. Over on the 4-hour here, we did break that 300 EMA. We are continuing up. That is positive. Stochastic is pushing forward. VWAP is bullish. Momentum is pushing up. Money flow is bullish. So overall, we do look decent. Over on our 2-hour, we do have higher highs and higher lows that do not connect very well. So again, bullish continuation. Stochastic's pushing up, momentum's gaining strength, VWAP is bullish, money flow is pushing up, so overall we do look positive. Again, just exercise caution as we approach our resistance areas. Over on the 1-hour, stochastic is starting to round away, RSI is going flat, momentum is pushing up, but we have a red dot, so watch VWAP. If VWAP breaks bearish, momentum could break down and bring money flow lower. That would cause higher time frames to sell off if that money flow remains in the red for several hours. Thank you for watching tonight's channel. I appreciate tonight's episode. I appreciate